I start, I would like to point out that there is no bias research presented in this video. The findings spoken in this video are all from sources of atheist, agnostic and skeptic verifications of scientists, psychologists and historians. Genesis 1 God created the universe, then the heaven and the earth, and at that point, the earth was dark and void until God had put light on it. Then he created animals, and then humans. Scientists and astrologers have proven this claim to be true. There was no light immediately after the creation of the universe. It was actually more so lined up with the first traces of life. The most common argument against there being God and creation is evolution, and that the mass, space and energy that composes our universe had always been there. Edwin Hubble had disproved this in the early 20th century, when he learned matter, energy, space and even time had a beginning. He noticed that the universe was expanding, and measured it mathematically. People like Einstein and Sir Frederick Hoyle called this nonsense and sarcastically nicknamed it the Big Bang. Their reaction was reasonable because the Big Bang was a hydrogen bomb, which by its nature is more destructive than creative. The chances of there being life and a universe with so many intricacies after a huge hydrogen bomb is 1 in a trillionth. To which Stephen Hawking remarked that there would have to be some grand designer of that bomb for it to make sense. In 1992 Edwin Hubble's claim was proven, but the COPE satellite experiments, to which NASA had later on created a timeline of the Big Bang illustrating what had started the universe and Big Bang. It was quantum fluctuations. Quantum fluctuations are basically the laws of nature. In definition, the laws of nature are something that is not physical, but has the ability to impact the physical, and our meaning of time does not apply to it. If you read the Bible, you will find that that is the exact definition of God. Going into evolution, Darwinism is a theory of biological evolution. It was of course developed by Charles Darwin, stating that all species of organisms arise and develop through natural selection of small inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive and reproduce. The way that Darwin puts it is that animals came first, and then the humans. And if you look at the story of Adam and Eve, this is also how the Bible puts it. Pangea is another interesting topic. Pangea is a theory based on the upper, tectonic plates of each country, perfectly meshing together like a huge jigsaw puzzle. One thing to notice is the one world country that all speak the same language after Adam and Eve, as well as God pulling apart the countries and sending the waters back into the ocean after the floods in Noah. Pangea was said to have been separated by an earthquake. If you think about the mass, density and size of Pangea, then think about God pulling it apart. Yes, it would have created a large earthquake. Where history and psychology comes into the argument is the existence, execution and resurrection of Jesus Christ. By the verification of Cornelius Tacitus, who lived in 55 to 120 AD. Tacitus was one of the greatest Roman historians, so it is fairly easy to find information on him as well. Tacitus was not a believer, quite the skeptic, and very well known for getting to the bottom of things before verifying anything. Tacitus writes, Christus, the founder of the Christian name, was put to death by Pontius Pilate, procreator of Judea, in the reign of Tiberius. But the pernicious superstition, repressed for a time, broke out again, not only through Judea where the mischief originated, but by the city of Rome also. This verification confirms Jesus did exist. Jesus was the founder of Christianity. Jesus was put to death by Pilate. Christianity originated in Judea, and Christianity later spread to Rome. There are also accounts from various historians verifying the witnesses that saw the tomb empty, and verifying the 500 witnesses that confirmed the resurrection. As far as the 3 witnesses of the empty tomb go, the tomb was barricaded in by a 2-ton stone. There was a complete armed army in front of the tomb, and at that time they were slaughtering any believers. Much like they are doing now actually. And then to the 500 witnesses, many argued that they could have been confusing it with someone else, or that they all had mental illness. But these were the people who followed Jesus around for years. I am sure that you would know someone if you had been around them for that long. In addition, even to this day, it is psychologically impossible for 500 people, at the same time, in the same place, seeing the exact same thing, all convinced that it is the exact same thing, to be affected by the same mental illness. Maybe separately or at a fraction of the witnesses, but not 500. The point to all this is the most disturbing yet celebrative coincidence of all, the second coming of Jesus. Now, I will say that I am not about to tell you the exact time and place when the proverbial crap is going to hit the fan, and to do so would make me a false prophet, and you do need to watch out for those. What I am going to do now is read you a list of what is said to happen in the end of days according to the Bible. And then I will read you what has been happening here on earth is the physical realm. In Matthew 24 in verse 3 we see Jesus with his disciples on the mountain of Olives, and Jesus has a conversation with them where he tells them what to look for as far as it relates to his second coming. So the disciples say, "Tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming at the end of the age?" And what Jesus said to look out for is this, and I urge you to do your own research on this, so you can see the urgency for yourself. See that no one leads you astray, for many will come in my name saying I am the Christ. And they will lead many astray. Now, Vice News has an article going at the moment that many have watched about a dude in Russia that claims to be Jesus, saying that some of the commandments and sins that have mattered for thousands of years since creation do not matter anymore. And it is happening more and more in places like Africa, for example. You will hear wars and rumors of war. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place. If you haven't noticed the rumors of World War III breaking out and it being a macho, nuclear showdown, then I really have no idea what you've been doing, because America's in it, North Korea's in it, and the funny thing is that there are two countries at the moment playing two-faced with these countries, and they are Russia and China, who we've all known for some time yet just ignored it, that they have some of the world's greatest weapons. So now not only are we talking about spiritual warfare, but also physical. There is literally talk of wars and riots and governments being overthrown now more than ever. But the end is not yet, for nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Well, that's what I just pointed out to you, we're seeing that. And there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. There has been famines and quakes all over the place throughout history. But if you bother to watch actual, informative news, you'll see that famine and all kinds of quakes and storms are breaking out all over the place. Look up at the sky. Anyone else notice that every now and then the clouds don't look like normal clouds? If you have, I suggest you look up Project Hop and see what comes up. Then Jesus says, all these are but the beginnings of the birth pains. Then they will deliver you up in the tribulation, and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will fall away, and betray one another, and hate one another. And many false prophets will arise and lead many astray, and because lawlessness will increase, the love of many will grow cold. As example, Las Vegas and the many other murder around the globe. But the one who endures until the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be claimed over the world as a testimony to all nations. And then the end will come. So basically what he is saying is this is what is going to happen, and that people should maybe put down Facebook for a while, perhaps, and pay a bit more attention to the world around them. Now, I'm just going to say this now, there is not one thing on this list that Jesus presented that isn't happening right now. The best advice I can give you is be prepared, know what to look out for, start watching real news, learn to protect yourself properly, because this will come in the physical form of World War III, and if my information has been quote-unquote good enough for you, which I hope it has, then let Jesus into your heart. I know that's some real eye-roll worthy stuff, what I just said there, but the alternative is hell. You can only disrespect the boundaries and wishes of someone for so long, before they do it. God, but he loves you, he wants you in his kingdom. It's just polite and appropriate and needed to apologize when wrong, and I think at this point in time, to invite him on in. If you don't wanna do that, then it's none of my business, and good luck to you, cause honestly, no one can run faster than the cosmic and supernatural balance being restored. You got two choices, heaven or hell. But he also gave us free will, and I am no one in comparison to him, so it's your choice, and I just hope you make the right one for you. That's what the video is all about. For those who are worried and do believe me about the coming events, I thank you and also will try to remind you what will happen if you apologize, give your heart to Jesus and believe. You will be sent into heaven by the rapture where you will be safe. This will be for the 3 years where the devil gets his final hurrah. Please watch my next video to see exactly what will be happening and some theories to it. Once the tribulation is over, after the 3 years, we will be eternal, immortal and live beside God and the angels on earth. So it is said that all of this will be coming soon. And as for the majority of the video, I have been trying to appeal to your logic. So I will again. Will it really cause harm in any way to openly give your heart to God, believe in Jesus and the rapture for 9 to 12 months of your 80 to 100 years of life? And if I am wrong, you can always go about your business, the way you prefer it. I'm not bothered in turning anyone. I just care.